Port Louisiana Seratones, fronted by the gospel-trained powerhouse A.J. Haynes, released their remarkable debut record, Get Gone, in 2016, leading to mass critical praise, a national television debut on CBS This Morning, an NPR Tiny Desk concert, as well as tours with the likes of Charles Bradley, St. Paul and the Broken Bones, the Dandy Warhols, and Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats. Their sophomore release, Power, on New West Records, was recently added to the WYCE Music Library and was produced by Cage the Elephant guitarist Brad Schultz. Power takes its cue from the vintage gritty sounds of Motown and Stax, while Haynes' lyrics take on issues such as race, gender, and justice with unfiltered honesty. Seratones will be headlining the Pyramid Scheme tonight with Dan Luke and the Raid opening. Please welcome to WYCE Studio X, Seratones.
Longing for what I never had. Let's watch it fall. I couldn't care. Another lie in an empty bed. Just pull the covers over my head. Pull the covers over my head. Pull the covers over my head. Fear is the weight of the world coming down with no love in return. Fear is the weight of the world coming down like the bridges unburned. Fear is the weight of the world coming down.
We are live in Studio X with A.J. Haynes of Seratones
And
for a
Tyran.
special, what do you say?
And Tyran Coker.
And Tyran. Thank you so much for that beautiful piano playing. You're doing a special intimate performance now, but you are going to be lighting the Pyramid Scheme on fire tonight.
Headed to the pyramid tonight. Hey, yeah.
A lot has changed since the last record, and not very long ago. It was less than 3 years ago. And I would say that your sound has become more whole. The last album was more kind of a punk blues-driven sound. This one, you're kind of experimenting more with psychedelic, soul, funk, and rock. Talk to me about this new album, Power.
Well, a lot changes between the ages of 25 and 31. I think. As things should, right? I think that if you're not pushing and trying different things, then it's easy to become kind of stale. I think we're affected by the micro changes in our intimate lives, as well as the kind of macro climate of changes that have happened, especially since 2016.
Yeah, a lot has changed since that year.
But a lot has changed and a lot has stayed the same, right? And I think in revisiting my own narratives, and I think that the major shift narrative-wise was lyrically with the first album. I was really kind of obsessed with the rock and roll occult and a lot of Luciferian imagery and things that I was infatuated with. And then with this album, the lyrical content's coming from reflecting on my experience and what does that look like. And it's really scary sometimes, but I think it's worthwhile. And I think, what I hope is that we realize that our narratives are worthwhile and we figure out how to articulate them and how to make them compelling.
Absolutely. Well, I think that you dig deeper on this album. Not that you don't typically normally dig deep, you always do. But you are more honest, I think, on this record. And I think more experimental in sound with that honesty. And it's a great mesh of, pardon the pun, but it's powerful. It's powerful.
Woo woo! Words mean things. Yeah, we did it for a reason.
It really is. It's a powerful statement. The album is doing fantastic here. All of our programmers have just really gotten behind it. Where were you born?
I was born in Yokosuka, Japan.
Mm-hmm. And how did you go from Japan to the Shreveport, Louisiana area?
My dad was in the Navy. Mm-hmm. My mother was from the Philippines and moved from Ilocos to Yokosuka, and they made me. And then my dad's family's from Louisiana, so that's where, actually Columbia, Louisiana. And then we ended up moving to Shreveport, which is how I met everyone in the band. It's really cool. Everyone in the band is from our hometown, so we have our little tribe.
Who did you grow up listening to?
It depends on the day of the week. I listen to a lot of Flower Child music. Like my mom, and I listen to a ton of doo-wop and 60s, kind of Nuggets stuff and Kenny G and bossa nova. I came across my dad's CDs of Billie Holiday and Marvin Gaye at a pretty young age, and 2 specific CDs that I was just really obsessed with. I don't know. I grew up singing in church. Grew up singing in a Brownsville Baptist church, and then in Shreveport, I was kind of by myself, kind of isolated when I first moved there. So I was obsessed with a lot of jazz singers like Ella Fitzgerald, Nita O'Day, Sarah Vaughan, and then kind of fell into the local punk community and got into that from there, and that's how I met everyone.
I don't know if you still are, but were for many years. You were a counselor at one of the last remaining women's health clinics in your state. You do have a lengthy history of advocacy for reproductive justice and racial equity. And I think that a lot of that, it kind of comes out in the beautiful video for Power.
Oh, thank you.
It's a gorgeous video. Talk to me about that. Was that filmed in Shreveport?
It was, and the director, Danielle Kolodny, she's just amazing. She's actually from Longview, which is 30 minutes outside of Shreveport. Shreveport's the big city for Longview. She's now based in New York City and Brooklyn. And I think for both of us, it was a revisiting of home. We're still definitely very much so based in, we have our pinky toe in Shreveport, but we're on the move, and being in a state of constant motion makes you reflect on home in a different way. And I think that there's a way that we can tell our stories from the Deep South that
I'm not saying that other people can't, but I think that, you know, we're able to understand and demand more of a place that we can be critical of and love it and love equally, right? And that's what I wanted to show with Power, is that, you know, there are some devastating things about being in the Deep South, but there are also some really beautiful things. Like, I have amazing friends and this really great network of people and a community that supports us. I mean, we also have a lot of, you know, like racial inequity. It's that's just part and parcel of being an American, really. But I feel like in the Deep South, we live with our history in real time, right? And so I just kind of wanted to show these different symbols, like and how they communicate with each other, you know.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous video.
Thank you.
And you really feel history in that video. We are live in Studio X with Seratones. They will be playing tonight at the Pyramid Scheme. We're going to give away a pair of tickets. If you would like to see the show tonight with full band, you also have Dan Luke and The Raid also on New West Records opening the show. So it's going to be a very raucous night of rock and roll and soul.
We'll keep y'all warm.
Yes. If you'd like a pair of tickets to see Seratones at the Pyramid Scheme tonight, give us a call at 616-742-WYCE. Jess is standing by to take your call. If you would like a pair of tickets to the show, she will get you all hooked up for that. Can we hear another song?
Yeah, that song is called Crossfire. It's the last song on the record.
Seratones, live at YCE.
Mother, I've had enough today. Try to recover, but don't know who to blame. I wonder how one can sleep at night. I don't know who to trust when I saw the flash of light. Save a little loving at the end of the day. I'll be strong for you, in a song for you. Caught up in the middle when the crossfire fades, I'll hold on for you. Just hold on to me. Lover, I'm trying to be kind, but my dreams are paper thin and floating in the air, and I can feel the spin. Oh, lover, my heart is caving in. If they pull us over, will I see you again? Save a little loving at the end of the day. I'll be a song for you. Caught up in the middle when the crossfire fades, I'll hold on for you. Just hold on to me. La la la, la la la, la la
The WYCE Artist of the Day today, Seratones. The new album Power is out now on New West Records. They will be headlining the Pyramid Scheme tonight with Dan Luke and the Raid opening. See them now before they go on a tour next year, early next year, with the Black Pumas.
Wait. So
Thank you so much for coming
Thank
in.
you.
Yeah. Back to Jess in the studio.